Had to turn that down. Gotta turn the pan upside down. Yeah. No matter the negative energy that comes around, I squash it. I know I get a little grumpy. People don't understand me. They don't trust me. That's your problem. Now it's time that, yes, I got these problems and I solve them because a lot of my mistakes, I put them out there on my sleeve for you to take and use against me. But that's okay, cause at least I was honest. People don't really know where they really gonna go, but it doesn't even matter because you ain't never even been there before. So I really gotta just sit back and really have some faith, cause I know this world will give you a bitter taste, especially if you're really eating from that apple. Am I able to really just approach you, have a conversation? No, you ignore. So I'm sitting here and I'm not trying to be the void. I'm just trying to be something like it's already been on the market. It's never been sold. No, it's something, yeah, this is something that is better than gold. This is the M-Bar Show. We all still got time to grow, hey. Alright, coming to you live from Apopka, Florida. This is the M-Bar Show, part 2 to what's really going on. You know, we all have a lot that's bringing us down. We have a lot that's bringing us up. And that's where we need to adjust our focuses. What's bringing us up? You know, when there's nobody else to turn to, Jesus is there. You know, when a situation gets bitter and gets worse, Jesus is there. You know, we have the abilities to fight a lot of these spirits, a lot of these situations, you know, either if they're financially, even if they're addictions, even if they're anything that comes into our lives. Most of the time we have the power to even do it on our own, but God's always going to come through. Jesus is always going to be the main provider when you just feel like you can't do it no more. And, you know, in a world where, you know, there's so much negative that's being broadcasted every day, you know, sometimes we need to just sit back, put the phones down, and really observe the good things out of life, you know. Like Luke Bryan, you know, I believe most people are good, you know, but we all have issues. All of us have issues, including myself. I can't get on this podcast and try to act like Mr. Perfect. But what we're going to address today, what's really going on in your life? What is holding you down? Is it a toxic relationship? Is it a bad job? Is it you're waiting on a breakthrough? Or have you lost faith in God? Have you lost faith in humanity? Have you lost faith in life? I know I'm not the only one that has thought, you know, what am I doing here? You know, what is my divine purpose? Well, one of them I believe is right now. I'm alone on a podcast. I don't have a co-host. Don't need a co-host. I might want one in the future. Just put that out there. But I've been recording music for a long time. I've been podcasting for just about as much as around the same amount of time. But enough about me. That's just a little brief summary. But I'm going to tell you a little bit about what I'm going through. You know, sometimes I overthink. Sometimes I feel as if I'm behind when it comes to society. You know, I've had my addictions, I've had my problems, and I've had my demons, and I've battled. I've done a lot of good, I've done a lot of bad. But you know what? God's not done with me yet. He's not done with you either. You know, and if you hear some things in the background, I'm sorry. Kind of outside doing this. You know, we tend to focus too much on the negative things. I'm definitely one of those people. Sometimes we let what goes on in our minds, we let it run through our emotions, we let it run through the way we talk. Excuse me, I had a little burp there. But what is really going on? And I'll probably say that a few more times in this podcast, because I want you, the listener, to understand that that's what we need to focus on. We all tend to run to alcohol, we all tend to run to drugs, we all tend to run to things when our relationships go bad. And it's good, for a couple weeks. You gotta live a little, right? I know you all have heard it. But when you come to clarity, when you come to your silver lining, so to speak, you realize that that's just temporary release. Sometimes people just aren't meant to be together, but they stay together because they stay together because they feel it's the right thing to do. But a lot of us give up. And some of us just can't take anymore. We've had enough. And when you put your hands up and you said you've had enough, you just don't know the outcome, though. And I'm going through that. I have a 3-month son. Relationship with the ex-girlfriend is non-existent anymore. We kind of it's a hateful thing now. Gonna have to go through family court. But you know what? Regardless of my depression, which I'm going to be working on, got an appointment tomorrow. Regardless the stress of the new jobs that I've been starting, the stress and depression of not being able to see my son for 2 months. I've seen him every morning, waking up to him, taking care of him. The relationship between me and my ex, regardless, shit that doesn't work, you still got feelings for people. You still have that love for that person. And some of us, we move on differently. We all have a story to tell, though. And I want to get into a couple of Bible verses that I believe will help me and you. And if it doesn't help you, well, that's on you. But I want you to just be able to take some time today to just listen to Philippians chapter 1, verse 6. And this is in the Bible plan, the Eye of the Storm. Verse 6 states, I am sure that the good work God began in you will continue until he completes it on the day when Jesus Christ comes again. Some of us just really need to just hold on. Some of us need to slow down. And I know we live in a fast-paced world where everything has to be speedy. You have to be accurate. But God doesn't really work that way. It takes time to create a masterpiece. It takes time to perfect a trade. It takes time to perfect a relationship. It takes some bad relationships too, I believe, to go through until you realize what you deserve out of someone and how you can be a better person in a relationship. That's something that we really don't talk about too much, and I believe we need to. Relationships take work. And I got tired. I'll admit it. Trying to make it work with someone that has brain damage, someone that has been through trauma, has been through horrible relationships, and even through the relationship of even the recent one. Meaning me. Grumpy, moody. There's reasons for those grumpiness in moody times, you don't feel like you're being treated the way you deserve to be treated, we all tend to react a way that the person in front of us doesn't like. And arguments arise and just nothing ever gets done. You got to know when to call it quits. And that's a problem that I have, and I know that a lot of people that are listening probably have. It's hard to give up on people. How can I give up on someone that I once loved? And this is just my perspective. Hear me out. How can you not forgive someone when the Lord forgives you every day for your sins? See, the one thing that's different between people and God is God's always forgiving. But not all of us. Not only is God forgiving, but He will forget. He wants to see the best version of you. You know? And forgive me for the noises in the background. A lot of different people live in this area, so different times, different places, people come in and out. No, but I want to jump into another Bible verse real quick, and it's only going to take me a second. It's Hebrews chapter 12, verse 2, the verse of the day. We must never stop looking to Jesus. He is the leader of our faith, and He is the one who makes our faith complete. He suffered death on a cross, but He accepted the shame of the cross as if it were nothing because of the joy He could see waiting for Him. And now He is sitting at the right side of God's throne. One part that stands out to me is, but He accepted the shame of the cross as if it were nothing because of the joy He could see waiting for Him. How many of us need to do that? We're going through something right now. We don't necessarily picture what's waiting for us. Positive things that are waiting for us. Doors that are locked that are going to be unlocked for us to go through. This podcast today is not only for you, it's for me. This is my therapy. This is my way of showing my faith for Christ. This is my way of releasing what's inside me. I'm an artist at first, podcaster at second. Just a silly guy from Florida. Gonna be 30 this year, and I hope that the next 30 years will be a lot better than the past 30 years I've had on this earth. It's been hard, you know. And no, I have not went through physical trauma, but I've been used, mentally abused, lied to, cheated on. The breakthroughs just never come through. You know, whatever you're going through, it's either, if it is physical or mental, it's temporary. I wanted to tell you that today. It's temporary. I'm going to be able to see my son, and I'm going to dedicate this last minute to him. This is the N-Bar Show. Check it out. Coming back for you, boy. Yeah. They don't understand the struggle. Only got 23, like I'm Jordan with the shoes. It don't matter, man. We've all been used. We've all been abused. We've all seen the clues. All looked past it like, damn, what do we do? Man, I'm trying to figure it out. Nothing to figure out. Just gotta have faith that it's gonna work itself out. You know, a lot of things that we're going through.